All right, we have with us Madison Juergens and Elizabeth Junkie. We'll open it up for questions.
Madison, I overheard you say that you have this weird feeling this week. I guess, where's that come from, and how you feeling right now?
I think we just had a ton of confidence. I mean, I kind of woke up and I just felt I was never nervous for the game. You usually get butterflies in these situations, and I was never nervous. I just felt very confident, and I know a lot of us felt that way. So I think that's what helped us ultimately sweep them, but stay in those close games at the end of sets. But feeling amazing.
What was going through your mind when they were reviewing that last point at the end of the second set?
Well, actually, I didn't even know that it was to win the set. So I was like, okay, next point, no matter what, like, we'll win the next point, we'll win the set. So kind of just like next point mentality. Like we try to not expect that we're going to get those balls, but I was just in the moment, I guess.
Elizabeth, same question for you.
Like Jerk said, like we don't always expect to win those. We have the mindset of going in that we're not. So then if we don't, that it's not like a wave of emotions. But I think just we were really composed. We made it a little tougher on ourselves towards the end. But I think just confidence in the end of the set and just playing our game.
Yeah, and with that momentum play at the end, I mean, did that third set just feel a lot more comfortable?
Absolutely. I think we talked about it in between sets, and we just went out and played how we know how to play, and just with a ton of confidence, and it was a lot of fun.
Obviously, you finished off a strong tournament with 24 kills. I mean, what was working for you specifically today?
I think Jergs was giving me the ball in good situations. I had openings in the block, and I was just swinging hard.
Madison, and for you guys, 5-set, thriller. We talked last night. 5-set thriller. Come back today, facing the number one team. Granted, it's on your home court. I mean, just kind of talk about that transition from last night, having to kind of almost come back at points against State, to coming here tonight and sweeping Omaha.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of similar because last night we had to fight off a couple match points from State in that fifth set. But I think we just came out of that win really confident in how well we fought with all of those tight sets. But I think we came in today just overly confident, and I think that's what helped us win the game. We knew we could do it, and we fought off set point after set point in both the first and second sets. And I think then going into that third set, we had all the momentum.
And Elizabeth, were you swinging extra hard today? What was it? I mean, 24 kills in 41 attempts, new school record for kills in a 3-set match. I mean, what was kind of working for you overall?
I don't really know. I think I just went out and just played. I went out with a lot of confidence, and I knew Jergs would get me the ball in good situations, and I knew my team had confidence behind me. So I think just going out and playing I love playing at home. There's comfort in having our fans behind us. They're amazing, and there were multiple times during the game I would get chills just from hearing our fans behind us. And I think just going out and doing what we know how to do and what we do every day in practice.
Yeah, last year obviously there weren't fans, depending on there. Now you're in front of your home fans, I guess. Just what was that like? How enjoyable was that?
It was amazing. Like I said, I had chills multiple times during the match, which is just says a lot to our fans and just our fan base, and I love it. It's awesome.
And then Madison, you guys, you're defending champs. You're the preseason pick. A lot of pressure on you guys to pull this off. I mean, I guess how happy are you?
Obviously extremely happy, but we like that target on our back, and I think that's why all those games during regular season were so tough, and we lost a couple close ones. But I think ultimately we set ourselves up really well. We like to be the team that everyone wants to beat, and today it just happened to be Omaha was the team to beat. So we excel under pressure.
3 titles in 4 years. What does that mean?
4 rings. It's actually 4 titles. We had a regular season one. Sorry to correct you, but I got to keep count. I brought my 3 today and my extra medals.
All right, thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Give us an opening statement.
I'm very proud of this team. I think this has been a tough year for everybody, but obviously just knowing the inner workings of our team, I know that it's been a challenge in a lot of ways. And going from a spring season straight into a fall season without that training period, I think it held us back in some situations at the beginning of the year, but I very much always rely on that trust the process idea, and I think this team absolutely did that. And there were times that we could have folded, after losing to Omaha on our home floor a couple weeks ago, and kind of taking us out of that running for that first place spot in the conference. It could have set us back, but I actually think it made us work a little bit harder. But this team, after a really, really tough 5-set match last night, getting out of here after 10:30 at night, coming back, doing film, being prepared for a really, really, really good Omaha team says a lot about, I think, just the determination that they came in with today. And I think that we actually looked more confident in some situations today than what we have in the last couple weeks. So today, our hot hitters, I think we're obviously Junkie and Sammy, and we were able to get them the ball. And that says a lot about our passing, Juergens, and I think our attackers, obviously, for taking care of those situations. So really proud of them. I think we showed some really good fight and determination in both the first and the second set, but maybe especially in the second when it went back and forth a bunch. So I think once we came out on that third, we got that first run. I'm a person, I never feel like it's over until it's over, but I felt like we just were able to build on that, and our confidence grew, and made all the difference in the world.
You seem pretty sure you challenged that last point. I guess what was going through your mind during that last moment of the second set?
Honestly, I wasn't sure, but there were a lot of people that were sure. And I definitely rely on our team and what they see, because I can't see everything. It happens fast. We all know Junkie hits the ball hard, so that play develops very quickly. So they were sure, and when they're sure, there's a couple people on the bench I absolutely trust, and when they tell me it's in, I'm going to trust them. So, and I think it was huge, being able to finish it on that instead of having to maybe go back and forth and risk maybe not coming out with that because they make some plays. I think it turned the momentum a little bit into our favor, and that was huge. Being up 2-0 in the championship match is tough, and for us to do that, again, confidence-wise, I think our team stepped on the floor in the third with all of it.
Anyone in particular give you the alert that made you do the challenge, or?
Well, all of them felt like it was in, but Claire Gertis is the one that I absolutely trust. When she tells me something's in, I listen to her. Yeah.
And it seemed like you almost challenged what could have been the end of the third set, but it ended up going to Omaha. I guess what was the difference between those two plays?
In the moment, I wasn't 100% sure. Actually, I think our team celebrated a little bit early because I thought it was close enough that we shouldn't have done that. But also, there's something about hearing that USD chant at the end on your home floor that I think we're kind of excited to hear as well.
Yeah. And what did that do to the momentum after you won that second set?
I even asked the team, I said, where's the pressure? And they all said, on them, and I think that hasn't always been the case where they feel that way, and I think when they just stepped out, there was just another level to them. And I think you saw it tonight even in the first and the second set as well, but that third set, everything just kind of went our way. We made some defensive plays, some really chaotic plays where we just got the ball over and were able to play defense again. I said it when we played Omaha the first time, they're the best defensive team in the conference, in my opinion. And so for us to outdig them, for the second time this year, but in this championship match, I think says a lot. Lolo had an outstanding night tonight with 23 digs, and I think Juergs made some really good plays and right back that she hasn't always made. So, I think it makes a big difference when you can get that momentum into your favor.
I guess, how much of an impact did having the home crowd have?
It's huge. You can't really put words, on it or, a value on it, but we've almost always played better at home, than on the road, and I think everybody would say that, so I don't think I'm saying anything new, but I think our fans are a part of the game. They very much, I think, during my time here, have learned the sport of volleyball. I think they appreciate the sport of volleyball, and I think they know how to make an impact on the game, and they did that tonight. There were times in both that first and the second set where, again, they maybe went on a little bit of a run, and our crowd started making a ton of noise, and it doesn't go unnoticed. And I do think it's hard. Sometimes it's hard for us to hear too, but I do think it puts a little bit more pressure on that other team. So, being at home, I think is huge. I think it makes it a little bit nicer, being able to celebrate on our home floor with our home crowd, with our families, something that we didn't have last year at the Pentagon. So, again, just really happy for this team and everything that they've accomplished to this point.
Yeah, coming in as defending champs, you're the preseason picks. Your team seemed to handle pressure pretty well. I guess just speak on that.
Yes, they did. I think that there's times that we didn't. I think that it is something that we've talked a lot about. We want that expectation. We want to be picked towards the top. I mean, that's something that you want as a program. You want to be at the top of the league every year. So we felt confident with the team that we had coming back. But again, there were some different challenges. We had the same team, so there are some different situations that we had to work through. Some different obstacles that we had to address as a team and make sure that we continue to get through. But I think that everything that happened to us along the year, every situation that we put ourselves in along the year, good and bad, prepared us for this moment and prepared us for this conference tournament. So, failing throughout the year is a part of learning. And I think this team absolutely bought into that, because if we didn't, we wouldn't be where we are right now.
And there's always talk about, you need your best players to step up in the biggest moments. I mean, Elizabeth, Lolo, Sammy, Madison Jurgens, I mean, they all played great tonight. Maybe their best match of the tournament for some and best match in a while for some. Just speak to your leadership and that core group of players and what they did for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think you are absolutely right. And I think we had some other players that probably could have stepped up too, and had some success, and we did. We just had a couple other people that were maybe scoring at a little bit of a higher rate. But I thought Sammy had an outstanding night tonight, and not that she played bad last night, but it wasn't necessarily maybe her potential, and she made a decision today to be more herself again. And she's a big part of the success that we had. I mean, 15 kills on 30 attempts, 0 errors. I mean, hitting 500, that's insane, especially against the #1 team in the conference and the best defensive team in the conference. So, I mean, she had an outstanding game. Junkie was on another level. I think you asked her, what she was maybe doing differently, and I think she was just a little bit more disciplined. Yesterday she was hitting hard. She was hitting to score, but it wasn't always, I don't think it was always as smart. Today it was hard, it was to good parts of the floor, and that was the difference to me. I mean, she was controlled with her swings, and she made a move. She hit different parts of the floor, she took advantage of the block, she tipped or rolled when she needed to, managed when she needed to, and hit some back row attacks that we all love to see. So, I mean, that's huge as well. And then I think both Jurgs and Lolo, I mean, we all know that our hitters don't have success without those two players. So, Lolo probably played one of her best games in a while. Again, I think forced their attackers to do things that they weren't comfortable doing, and that's what you have to do. We had a little bit of a game plan after game 2, and part of it is you have to make their players think, their attackers think. And I think there were a couple times throughout games 1 and 2 where they didn't have to; they could swing to swing, and there was kind of not a lot of thought process behind it. And once we slowed them down a few times, I think it put them into some uncomfortable situations, and that's a lot on Lolo.
4 years ago, you won your first conference tournament. Now 4 years later, you got 3 conference tournaments, an undefeated regular season, an IVC runner-up. Just talk about the growth over the last 4 years for your program.
I mean, this program means a lot to me. The people within it mean a lot to me. The administration, the fans, the support staff, these coaches that have been with me for a long time as well. It means the world. The amount of alumni, that reached out in the last couple days, or posted things on Facebook or Twitter, about what was going on. That's what we do this for, is to have an impact in a small part of people's lives. And I'm very proud of the way the program has continued to develop, and we're not done yet. We feel like there is that what's next for us, and we're excited that we just gave ourselves a chance to get to that next spot.
And I mean, the home crowd, we've talked a little bit already, but over 1,000, people in attendance the last 2 nights, having, regularly top 50 attendance in the nation for a volleyball program. What's that like for you to have such a strong backing, not just in big games like this, but throughout the entire season? It's
huge. I mean, I say it, I think, in almost every single press conference. I think the this fan base has meant a lot to myself and to these players, and it's something that, again, doesn't go unnoticed. I mean, and this is on a weekend, you know, to have over 1,000 people without students really in attendance. We had a few of those Coyote Crazies up there. We didn't forget them, but you know, without some of those students back here over break, you know, the other people had to show up, and you know, really excited that our players were able to play on their home floor in front of that fan base, and something that I know is going to continue to. And you know, we've always said winning does breed support, you know, and we've done that, you know, so I'm looking forward to continuing to grow on that. But you know, I think to touch on the attendance portion of it too, I mean, that's our marketing, that's our video, that's the people behind the scenes that are putting so much work and emphasis into getting people in the seats, and I think they've done a great job.